You could be with somebody every day and talk to them every day. You
Right.
could talk to them every day, all day, and not communicate with them. You think that's true?
You definitely can because it's I think it's the intimacy of the communication and the
Yeah,
conversation.
man. It's crazy because you could literally be next to somebody talking to them all day, and
And I be
you
talking
ain't really
about
say,
nothing.
and you ain't said nothing.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Tell Me What's Good. I'm your host, Willie Love, and today I got my boy Zay with me. Zay, what's good with you?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Much. Hey, look, this is my boy, fraternity brother. You know, blood couldn't make us closer, you feel me? My man's is a very controversial person, got a lot of controversial takes, and we got a controversial topic today. So I want to
You
make
already
sure
know.
I read everything correctly. Also, Zay, you're a married man, so go ahead and tell them how long you've been married.
Yeah, you know how I go. Yeah. Yeah. So I've been married actually, right about almost 3 years. Next month on the second, make 3 years.
So he's married, he got two kids, Nadir, and he got Isaiah Perry is the junior, correct?
Yeah, you already know that, little junior.
There's gonna be a topic for him. So they say this is a tweet that went viral around like October. It say my boyfriend of 5 years is marrying someone he just met 6 months ago. I don't understand. I saw that on your Instagram and commented. I'm like, well, damn, you gonna, attack me like that? You know what I mean? Because previously I was in a relationship for 5 years and I'm no longer in that one. So we had a conversation, but we put it on the shelf just because I wanted to get your take on the podcast. And it's been a couple of months, but we finally here. So
It's been a little minute.
you feel me? So give us your insight on that, like how you feel about that topic or that tweet.
So I mean, I'm gonna say this: like, for somebody to be with somebody for 5 years and not be married, that's like a complete waste of time. And it shouldn't even be a surprise, like that you say he's marrying somebody from 6 months ago. Like, oh, well, yeah, he learned everything that he don't like with you within the last 5 years. So when he seen what he did, like, he wouldn't snatch that up. But I think personally, I think like you should not be going into 2 years basically with somebody and not be married, basically. So you could be with somebody the first year, but after that first year, you need to be engaged and working on marriage, because I think it get repetitive after that first year. And if nobody is, securely tying stuff down and making it official, minds start to wonder.
So why do you say 2 years? Like, why is there for you? Is like a timetable of when you should actually marry somebody.
Because I think like the years nowadays, like, okay, so I mean, I guess back in the days, maybe you had a little bit more time, but these days, man, time is moving like this. So it's like 1 year turning to two, two turning to three, three turning to four, four turning to five. And then before you know it, 5 years pass and you look back and, okay, for example, you, right? I'm gonna use you for example. So how long was your previous relationship? I don't really want to.
It was 5 years.
5 years, right?
Right.
So that's 5 years of life you can never get back. It was completely wasted. So my thing is this: why are you wasting 5 years of your life with somebody that you're not gonna be with for the rest of your life? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like the most valuable thing in the world is time. So why give somebody that when they don't deserve it?
All right. So to that point, so does age, like say, okay, for example, the age you come into that relationship with, right? So for that relationship I got, that was my senior year of high school. Or
See,
that,
and that's the thing. That's my big thing. You shouldn't even been in a 5-year relationship at the age of 18.
and why
You
you
weren't even ready to be in a committed relationship in general. So you didn't even know yourself at that point. You're a completely different person than you were at 18, right?
right?
So you didn't even know yourself. So that relationship would have never worked in the first place.
I feel it. I feel it. Like I said, I think a lot of times when it comes to those, and not all cases, but when it comes to those long 10-year relationships, it comes because you start that young age. So you're trying. I mean, you're not ready for marriage yet. You know what I mean? In some cases, it do happen. Some people do get married. You know what I mean? From
Yeah,
that,
I mean, it happens and it's very rare. But I mean, when you speak on stuff like this, you gotta look at it for the majority, like because obviously certain cases work for certain people, but for the majority, no one's ready to be in a 5-year relationship at the age of 18. That's how you gotta look at it.
So when did you know that you were ready to marry? Not there.
Okay, see, like I said, I'm one of those special cases because we actually got together when we was 18.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and we was together for maybe two years. Then that's when we got engaged and we got married. But like I said, I'm just one of those special cases. So you can't really look at my case because for the for the most part, basically, that doesn't work for people. It just so happened to work with me. I got lucky. But you know,
So
I mean, my thing is this: think about everybody you know. How many of those people are with people that they, are married to people that they was with when they was 18?
not is either they not married or they still dating to this day.
Yeah, but I'm saying how many of those people are with the same person that they were with when they were 18?
It's not too many people.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So,
So it's like, what do you think time just allows for more room for error, more room for detrimental things to the relationship?
so basically, of course, and without a commitment, there's no reason to stay. So if you with somebody 4 years down the line, and there's no commitment and they do something, it's like, why am I even with you? You're not even committed to me. You know what I mean? So it's more so like some stuff you can tolerate. Okay, at least I know this person is committed to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Versus like, man, we've been together 5 years. You don't want to commit to me. And you like, we still having like drama. Yeah, it's trash. I'm gone.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an easier decision to leave.
Right. So, like, so I'm just here to be devil's advocate. You know what I mean? Because I know how you feel on the topic. So I just want to get everybody
Oh
to get
yeah.
takes. And
Go ahead and be, because I got to come back for everything you say.
I'm already knowing you do. So for those people that's out there, like I said, for my case now, I'm doing distance. You feel me? So it's a little different versus, being with someone 5 years. Because right now we not together. So we at 2 years at the moment, and we're trying to get to each other. So what if somebody or a couple were doing like a long distance joints for like 3-4 years before they actually got their lives aligned together to get married? How do
See,
you feel
man,
about that?
and that's the craziest thing. See, like I said, that worked for me. That's another thing that worked for me that usually don't work. And it seems like it's working for you, so that's good. But for the majority of people, man, that is like that's a no-no
Well, long
because you
distance,
got
no.
not long distance without a commitment.
Uh-huh.
So y'all been together 2 years, y'all far apart. So I mean, obviously temptation happens. So y'all 1,000 miles away from each other. Y'all only get to see each other 2 or 3 times out of the year. You know what I mean? The smallest things, the smallest things could mess that up. You know what I mean? So it's like without a commitment, there's like, man, we've been together. I barely see this dude. We ain't committed. It's easier. It's just easier for things to, mess stuff up. Especially with you being 1,000 miles away.
So what if there's commitment in the 5 year relationship? Like, what if there's just like, I guess they're moving
What's
on.
the commitment? The commitment is marriage.
Yeah, commitment is marriage, right?
Yeah.
But what if finances ain't ready? You know what I mean? What if
If what?
finances ain't ready? Like,
Ready for what?
Finance, for the marriage, bro, because marriage costs. You feel me?
Say finances ain't ready for the marriage.
The marriage in general. Like, if I'm marrying you, right? I'm living my life.
Okay, so I
No
think
longer, huh?
so I think we might have two different definitions of marriage.
But see, no, I'm not. I don't have a different definition of marriage. It's more so of you
Money ain't
paying
got nothing
for
to
a
do with
commitment, right?
marriage.
It don't. I'm just speaking on when you are getting married. It's no longer you, right? It's two.
For sure.
So what if a couple, they love each other dearly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they're not completely ready to make that step to be one because becoming one,
But they shouldn't be
marriage,
together. They
huh?
shouldn't be together. So
But
you're not
how?
ready to become one, but you ready to be with somebody. How?
So they can't work towards that.
Nah, there's no
Why
way.
not?
What? Because my thing is, so what makes you so ready for a relationship if you're not ready for marriage?
There's no. I don't feel there's a time table.
What is a committed relationship? What is it?
The committed relationship, like I said, we both got the same goals, same plans in mind for ourselves. This is who we want.
So
Where,
why aren't you married? That's my question. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
but
you
that's what
know
I'm saying.
that.
Not everybody has that. Like I said, you're a special case. You feel me? Right now.
Yeah, but at this point,
Mm-hmm.
you had your chance of things not working out. Now you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what's stopping you.
What if
So you
somebody
rather
didn't have that chance of something not working out? Because
I guess that's
not everybody go through that situation. Cause like I say, me was I had to go through that breakup.
it's trial and error for sure.
I had to go through that. But what if
It's trial and
a
error for
lot of
sure.
some people don't date until they're 18, 19, 20 some years old, right? They don't
Yeah.
have that trial error because it's just naturally they felt like the people their pool at the time just wasn't for them. So they get into a relationship at a later age.
Yeah. So
And
my thing is this though. I think like when you first meet somebody, like the first date, you got to see if like what they want in life and what you want in life is the same thing. If
right,
it's not, you shouldn't even date them.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So once you be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna date this person because I feel like we can go far. You know what I mean? Then you date them for a year past, boom. Yeah. Everything I thought at first, yeah, it's true. Now it's time to get married. It's just that simple.
So every relationship,
It shouldn't be nothing. It shouldn't be nothing in
yeah.
between that.
So it's
What's
basically
the stalling? You gonna let somebody else take your girl?
nah, that can't happen. You feel me?
It
But
can't.
nah,
How
I'm
you know
saying
that?
like it can't happen. Like I can't let that happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so make the
But
commitment.
so my question is so in your take is that every relationship should be a relationship with the intent to marry. It shouldn't be a relationship with maybe not having that intent to marry that person from the beginning, but you should have that from the get go after your first couple of dates.
Very first date, not even a couple.
So
Very first.
you have to
So
know.
it's like this. So it's like this, right? So a lot of people go in a relationship thinking they can change people, right?
Right.
So, but this is my thing. When you meet somebody, right, and then it's like they you ask them, you what you supposed to ask you, yo, like say I want 3 kids and I want to be married, right?
Yeah,
So
important question. Important
so
question.
I go on the first date with a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I let it slide by, and I let a couple months slide by. We still dating. 6 months, 2 years. Now it's 2 years done passed by. Nah, actually, like, yo, you don't think it's time to like get married and start having kids? Cause I want 3 kids. She hit you with the what? I never want to be married. I never even want to have kids ever. You know what I'm saying? Then you realize, wow, so I've been with you 2 years and I can't even have kids because I never even thought to ask you, like, do you even want kids? You know what I mean? So those are things you're supposed to ask when you first get with somebody, man.
So are those questions things that determine?
Yeah, 100%.
Like I said, I'm just be devil's advocate. I know
100%. So if you go on a first date with a girl and you like, yo, I want 3 kids, man. She's like, oh no, I'm never having no kids. All right, boom. It was a nice date, but I ain't seeing you no more.
you feel me. So I want to say back to being young, right? Because like I say, I'm a vulnerable person, so I let almost everybody that's close to me let them know my life, so I can be open to them. You can be open to me. You know what I mean? So my case, like I say, I found someone. I dated her. Senior year of high school, went to college. she followed the next year. You know what I mean? So for one, that's already, I'm a senior in high school. She's a junior. That's already 1 year, you know what I mean, being, I guess, wasted because we're not at that age, right? And then now, fast forward to the next year when she get ready to come to college. You feel me? Boom. Now it's like, okay, now she's like, now we got to figure each other out because now we with each other on a daily basis because at that young age, we don't get to see each other daily. Why? Because we're with our parents. Our parents is not, well, not everybody parents are letting certain things go or letting you go out these certain times or how many times a week, school nights, type junk, whatever. You feel me? So you use that second year to truly figure out that person because now you're on your own, really in college. So boom, now you know that second year, you're not ready for it. So should you have cut it off that second year, being that this is really y'all first year actually together,
Man, honestly,
or
honestly, I'm gonna tell you where you messed up at. As soon as you left, you should have cut it off.
so I left college?
In reality, you should
So
cut
like
it
high
off. Matter of
school.
fact, it should never. Honestly, it should never been a thing in the beginning. You know, it
Like,
should never been a thing. But since it was a thing, when you left, you should have cut it off.
so when I left from high school to go to college, when I left Palm
Yeah,
Beach to come to
yeah,
Daytona,
you should have left.
why do you feel
Because
like you cut it off?
I mean, like I said, you went to college, man. That's the time you find yourself. You got to focus on yourself, man. So you was in college, not even focused on yourself. You was thinking about things back home. You know what I'm saying? College is the one time, especially when you leave, that's the time like where you don't think about stuff back home. You know what I'm saying? You go, you get these new experiences, you take it in, you take everything in, and you
So
grow.
I'm just being devil advocate because I met you freshman year. We had Dr. Gay together. So
Yeah,
freshman year was around the time that you did get with Nadir, correct?
yeah.
And then 2 years from there, fast forward, it was 2019, y'all got married.
2019. Yeah.
So what was the difference? Was it that from my case to your case that you didn't have nothing coming from high school? You kind of met her in college and that's where everything was over, like went to where you had your 2 years and then get married?
Oh man, I feel like my life was like, I don't know. My situation was just completely different. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know why it worked. It just did. I just got lucky.
You just got like that's what I'm trying to figure out. 'Cause like I said, this is that conversation, you know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah,
like
that's what it is.
it's different, right? Because you do have your cases where you can be with somebody for X amount of time, right? And don't know if you're truly ready for that person or truly ready for that next step with that person until like maybe 3-4 years down the line, but you can meet somebody else and know just like that, right? That's my case, right? I know what I want now. Really, it's
Yeah.
just circumstances.
Yeah.
So
So the circumstances shouldn't stop it.
exactly, it shouldn't, and we're going strong, but that's my thing. So because of
Okay.
circumstances,
So guess what? I got a question for you. So like,
okay,
what's stopping you?
right now, location is what's stopping me at the moment.
Ain't no
But
location.
it's not technically stopping me. Why? Because on day to day, I'm doing what I can or making those necessary steps to get to that point to where we're together. So it's not technically stopping me. But
But
right
I
now,
mean, you can make the commitment.
I can. But that is a conversation that we had. But also, we're not here with that conversation. So we don't make decisions unless we're both here. I can be wanting this, but she may not want it. And if she don't want it, then we table that conversation for that time being solely because she's not we don't have the same mindset.
Mindset as far as what?
The Because it's simple to go to get you a marriage license and actually make that commitment and not be together.
Yeah, I'm not saying get married. You can still propose.
So I understand, but that's the same part of the conversation. You know, is she wants to
Is
be
it?
actually together if we're gonna do something like that, right? And I respect her decision. I respect that that's what she wants. I can't just sit there and say, okay, well, if you not ready yet, but I'm ready, I'm still gonna propose to you, irregardless of what your thoughts or what your feelings is. That's inconsiderate of me to like, I don't care. I'm ready for the commitment and I'm ready for us to get together. So I'm going to propose now. You feel me? That's where the commitment doesn't happen. But that's also where we have those conversations of, okay, well, we need to get to this place together. So therefore we can start our lives together. That's the
Yeah.
process.
So, but I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
What
I
you
don't
don't
know
know?
about that one.
What you mean?
Because I mean, my thing is this: how I don't get it. You know?
What's not to
Yeah.
get?
You just said y'all in a committed relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to be with each other for the rest of y'all life.
Mm-hmm.
So propose to her.
Yeah,
It's
but
that simple, bro.
But see, wouldn't that be selfish of me to just propose if
Nah,
she's not ready for it?
nah.
I think it will
She
be.
is ready for it.
I mean, we both ready
She
for it,
is.
but if it's not what she want right now, you feel me?
It
Because
is what she want.
I'll be damned if I get told the word no. You feel me?
Okay, and I'm telling you, it is what she want.
And I know it based on the conversation. I know it, but it's also like I said, it's a respect thing. And if you want to
Nah,
actually, she wants to actually be
nah,
together,
bro.
living together, you feel me for that moment.
Okay, so you can
I
wait till you
respect
living
that.
together to actually get married. You can still propose to her.
Yeah, but like I
Just
said,
tell her. Just
part of
tell
the
her
conversation.
like, hey, I want to be with you for the rest of your life. So I'm gonna propose to you. We can wait to get married whenever you feel comfortable most, but
But see,
I want
that's my whole thing. That's part of, like I said, it's just all conversation. Like, trust me, and you know, because I have these conversations with you.
I mean, I
Based on
know,
what we do. You know what I
but
mean?
I'm putting you on blast now.
You can put me on blast. That's cool. You feel me? But
Yeah.
that's where my drawback from that is, like I said, it's really my biggest thing with my relationship now that I didn't have previously is the communication, right? It's really that and more respect. So that's why we have these conversations. I want to see where your head is at, because the conversation even doing the marriage license wasn't even none of us. It was coming from a friend of hers. That's where the conversation got serious. Like, what? I mean, I'm ready. If you ready, you feel me? If you want it, I want it. You feel me? Like, and we both want it. It's just the fact that
So you gotta make it happen.
it's going to happen. But like I said, I don't make
Yeah,
decisions
but
unless I don't make decisions based off unless if we're not eye to eye with the decision, I'm not making it. That's sort of just respecting her opinion, her value. You know,
you
that's my
ever heard
value, her opinion.
weight broke the wagon.
Wait, bro, ain't a wagon getting broke around here.
Weight broke the wagon.
Ain't no wagon getting broke right here. Like you said, you special, we special. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah, for sure.
You know what
But
I mean?
that
Oh, you know,
time,
yeah,
that
no, like,
time, it ain't.
but I think that's what separates certain relationships, right?
Yeah, so you got two things working against you: time and distance.
Right. So I
So
think what separates,
you need to be quick,
I
because
think what
man,
separates the great from good relationships is the fact that what are you gonna do about your current situation, right?
yeah, for sure.
Because we can be stagnant, we can be complacent and just like, oh, it's fine, right? But we both
Yeah.
know that I ain't trying to do this no longer. You feel me? I
Yeah.
ain't trying to be a party no longer. So
You working towards it.
you working towards it.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I can respect that she don't want to propose while we are far, because we know we both working towards actually getting together. And little, like, who knows, those steps to actually get to that point where we get where we're together could happen this month, could happen next month. Those are just the things that we're doing at the moment, right? Things that I know internally and externally what's going on based off conversations I'm having, it can happen.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
it's all on, God's timing. So that's all I can wait on. So I don't want to,
Godspeed.
you feel me? I don't want to just say, you know what, this is what I want to do, right? But I don't know what he want me to do. You feel me? So that's where it comes, constant prayer, constant talking, to constant reading to kind of figure out what's the next
Well,
step.
you know where he wants you to be at. You know where
Right.
he wants you to be.
Right. It's with my baby.
Mm.
So
He
it's like,
wants you married. He wants you married because that's what he said in the book.
right.
You know what he wants you to be.
100%. 100%. So like I said, we striving for that. You know what I mean? It's just like you say, that's our circumstance. You know what I mean? So I can't say
Yeah.
our circumstance is the same for everybody's and it's gonna
Yeah,
work for everybody, because it don't.
but one thing I will say, man, like you said, devil's advocate. Man, it's only a few good ones out there.
So
So
yeah.
just know I know that, but it's a lot of vultures out there, man.
That's cool. Because
A lot of
vultures on both
vultures.
sides. It's vultures on both sides. And I think that's for us.
I
The good thing with us, like I say, I guess this can kind of go into giving game. You feel me? And that's why I feel like we all know it's vultures out there. Even still with you, it's still vultures out there, because obviously people don't care if you married or not, bro.
but I'm protected by the Christ.
I mean, I hear
I'm
you.
protected by the blood of Jesus, man.
I mean, but aren't we all? Marriage don't dictate if you protected by the blood of Jesus or not.
My relationship is.
I mean,
My relationship blessed. Yours not blessed through
mine's
Christ.
not blessed. It's because I'm not married. It's not blessed
Through Christ.
through Christ. But I'm still protected by the blood, right?
For sure.
And she's still protected by the blood, right?
Individually.
I can't be you. You can't be me. So, like I said, for one, our circumstances is a lot different. So if it was the fact that if she was here with me, we wouldn't even be having this kind of conversation because it would have been done already. Because I knew, well, we knew literally like halfway through the start of the relationship that, yeah, this is what I want. You know what I mean? Like this, you are who I want. There's nobody else.
So
You know,
maybe she wants you to take that step, and she's just not saying it because she
well,
technically can't.
I mean, she technically, I mean, yeah, I hear you.
So maybe she just wants you to be like,
But see, that's the thing, right? Because she look, she also said,
she wants
I
you
told
to
her, I
be a
asked her,
street sweeper.
no, I asked her, right? I said, so what about, because based on what you're saying, just go ahead and propose. I asked her, I said, so what about just randomly propose just because? You gonna, you know, what you gonna say? She said, well, I'm gonna say yes. You think, but that's because I'm proposing. She know that she want me and I want her. If I propose, I'm gonna do it. But at the same time, I don't want it to be that kind of situation where just because I propose, you saying yes because you know you want me, but it's not. You're not completely ready for it. You know what I mean? Because I do feel like rushing it or doing it too soon can, you feel me, significantly hurt the relationship. You don't think so?
No,
Or not?
it's just commitment. You already committed.
Right.
You already committed. It ain't no different. This I promise you, it's no different. You
Right.
already committed. It's just taking the step to say I am. You know what I mean? Like, because honestly, like, you know, marriage is a spiritual thing. It ain't about the paperwork. Paperwork don't mean nothing.
Right.
I can meet, well, not me, but you can meet a stranger and marry them like literally today,
Right.
right now. So I think it's a spiritual thing. Like, you know, when y'all both spiritually ready, just make the commitment because the commitment is already there. You know what I mean? Especially being 1,000 miles away, commitment there for sure. So just making it
Okay.
official.
Nah, like I said, nah, we definitely, it's definitely trying to get there and definitely will get there. Like I said, it's starting to trend.
Nah, I think you lying.
I'm lying.
Both. Yeah, you're not trying to get there, or
Why
you
not? You don't
won't
think
get
so?
there
You
because
don't
you
think so?
already are there.
Oh, that's what you think.
I know it.
I like that though. I like
You
that.
already are there. You just gotta make the move. You're
Mm,
already there. You literally telling me that. Yeah, we know what we want. We knew what we want a long time ago. So what's stopping you? That's
okay.
what I'm trying to tell you.
What can you what advice like say? Because you gave me a different kind of talk when we was on. Like I said, different kind of talk, but we had a deeper talk when we actually first talked about this. So
Of course,
what would you?
that's one on one.
That's one on one. Yeah, but we
You
here now.
can't you can't let
It's
everybody
not.
know
It's not about me.
everything.
It's not going to be about me. It's a general standpoint right about now.
All
So
right.
I'm not asking you to repeat everything verbatim what you told me that day, right? Because we talked based off of, because it's a personal level. So you knew what happened before. You
Yeah.
knew the ins and outs. So based off of this topic, this conversation, you gave me a whole bunch of different reasons and points why it didn't work out. And I said, well, that makes sense. I'm not gonna lie, because that was the first time and the only time in the heated debate I ever had to just agree with you on everything. So we'd have been debating for 2 years now. This is the first one that I couldn't say nothing like, yeah, well, that makes sense. So for somebody that's in, like, for the sake of this tweet, for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Give the reasons why it's not working and that person married somebody for 6 years. For they had met for 6 months.
So I mean, I think it's all case by case, but as I said, I mean, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say without like actually knowing what's going on. But I mean, the basics. One, you know, what was going on. You know, did y'all talk when y'all first got together to see what everybody wanted? You know, do you even know this person for real? Like that. I mean, I think that's the biggest one. Because you could be with somebody for 6 years, but time don't make a bond. You know what I mean? It's just time. So you can be with somebody, don't talk to them, you know, never ask what they want. You never see what they want. You know, you only think about yourself. You know what you want. Obviously, you know what you want. Or maybe you don't make it clear to them what you want. You know what I mean? Maybe you know what you want, but you didn't tell them, hey, I want this. Hey, no, I like this. Hey, you know, how you feel about this? You never talk, you just do stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think that's the biggest. And well, second biggest, because communication is number one. man, communication can like you could be with somebody every day and talk to them every day. You
Right.
could talk to them every day, all day, and not communicate with them. You think that's true?
You definitely can, because it's I think it's the intimacy of the communication and the
Yeah,
conversation.
man. It's crazy because you could literally be next to somebody talking to them all day, and you ain't
And I be
talking. You
talking
ain't
about
really say,
nothing.
and you ain't said nothing,
You ain't talking about nothing.
and you don't even understand what's going on. That's what I'm saying. So, like, I think the biggest thing, like, man, you get that communication early. Actually, see how somebody feeling, like, based off of what they do, what you do. I think you'll be all right. But when you don't communicate, man, it's hard, especially man with somebody 6 years.
So
Because man, it's after that 6 years, man, it's even harder to get with somebody because you too used to that old person.
oh, I'm glad you brought that up. So I just want to ask you this question, or just get your mindset on this, right? Because even for this same situation, you with that person for 5 years and you split. What are things that you need to do to clear your mind and get and to where you're not putting this next person in the box, right? Because a lot of times,
Honestly, you probably need to go to therapy.
right?
Because man, like I'm gonna tell you straight up, man, I don't want nobody that was in a 6 year relationship previously. I don't, man. Look at it, because you too used to that other man. You
You don't think with like I ain't gonna say with like that to change, but you don't think literally through the process of them maybe finding themselves, they can't erase all. I ain't say erase it, but basically get rid of all that from the old to make sure the new works.
man, I don't know, man.
Because that's what
Sometimes
look, that's what I had to do. You feel me? That's why I know it can work, right? Because you
I
like
mean, in some cases, but I
because
mean, like I
you're not
said,
going to
man.
ever have that because unless and we're not wishing this, but unless you and Nadir was a split, you're not going to go through that, right? Because it
You
was
know,
you came in,
yeah. I mean,
you found your sweetheart, and then you made it do what it do. At the end of the
yeah,
day,
but what I'm saying, man, like you be tainting it, and you don't even know it. That's how it be. Like you're like your mind is already expecting certain things, and you don't even know it self-consciously. So like man, I'm used to doing things this way, but I do it a completely different way, and that'll bother you. You know,
but
it's like it's
that's where that communication come from to help that
nah.
situation.
So I think in between relationships like that, man, you got to get therapy. You got to work on yourself
I
to
ain't got
get mentally prepared. That's you. You one person.
but see,
It
that's
worked
what
for you.
yeah, but this
But
I don't think I want to say
99.9%
I
of the
don't
times it
I
will
can't.
not work.
That's a fact.
Fact.
I need the stats.
99.9.
I need the stats. Where can I find those stats?
I mean, you can ask 100 people and 99 of them gonna tell you,
What are they gonna tell me?
gonna
What
tell
is the
you it ain't
question that
work.
I need to ask them to
I
get
mean,
that answer?
so I mean, if you've been in a long-term relationship and you broke up and you didn't work on yourself,
Mm-hmm. So is it
did
didn't
that
work on
relationship right
yourself?
after that, did it work?
If you didn't work on yourself,
Yeah, but how did you work on yourself?
so I'm actually what was the criteria? Company, you said that you're not gonna do a relationship with somebody that's been in a relationship for 6 years, right?
And it's a stipulation
Okay.
unless they
Unless
worked on themselves, been in
okay,
therapy and
okay.
things like that.
Okay, I mean that makes sense unless they worked on this. So I'm thinking you just said you're not going to be in a relationship with somebody that's been in a relationship for 6 years. It's in general, no matter what happened, no matter they worked
No,
on
I
it.
mean,
Not
unless you work on yourself and go to
okay,
therapy,
okay. We on the same page now,
because you have to change 100%.
right?
And all those things that
Dealt with
you
before.
got to unlearn everything. You got to unlearn 5 years of that dude before you get with me.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, like nothing, because it only take one time to hear it. Man, he used to do. Man, I don't
Yeah,
want to hear
it's a
that.
wrap. It's a
You
wrap.
know what I mean?
Right.
Like, man, I don't care how you what.
So basically, what it
You
is
got to unlearn 5 years.
exactly because like I said, I think what it is. I'm not saying everybody's like this, but a lot of times we as people you get so used to what it was, right? And then if it's something that you really love, then you kind of try to put that next person in the box, right? And
That's what
then
I'm
you
trying to
put
tell
that
you.
person in the
That
box, and then
and that's what I'm
it's
trying
not
to
gonna
tell you
work
right
out
there.
because it's like, yeah, you're not doing what they did that I like, right? But you got to realize that.
So you gotta unlearn that because man, that's not me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You trying to put me in those shoes, but
I can't fit those shoes.
those shoes was never supposed to be for me in the first place. It didn't work out for you. So you shouldn't even be worrying about them shoes.
Right.
You should be trying to see what these shoes got to offer, but you can't even think about that because you still got 5 years in the back of your head. Yeah, you cleared it out in the front, but what about the back? It's still back there. It's in the back of your mind, like, dang, man, 3 years ago, man, this was getting done like that. Man, I don't want to hear that.
Right.
You gotta unlearn them 5 years. And that's why I say you shouldn't even be with nobody 5 years. Because it's hard to unlearn 5 years of habits.
Yeah, not
5 years of day to day, it's hard.
For example, for me personally, what I did was, for one, I had to weigh the pros and cons that night that I made that decision, right? Because it was a heavy decision because
See,
I'm
gonna tell you another reason it worked for you.
Why you say that?
Man, none of the stuff actually held real value. You know why? Because I mean, you was too young. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You was just too young for that situation. So it was much easier for you to delete all that. Because it's like, but man, imagine somebody that's 35.
And that happens, and that do happen.
You've been with somebody since you was 30 and you 35. Because I mean, you know, that's a completely different situation. You know, you're working every day, you know, gotta take care of everything, all the bills, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You was at the crib in high school, you know. Y'all get in an argument, you go play the football game Friday night lights, everything good, you cool. But man, when you 30, a lot of that stuff, man, they hold value.
So
a whole lot more weight.
But the more people that watch this is around our age, right? So I mean, but even still, we're young.
I mean, our age, you got a lot of time to mess up.
You do
a lot of time.
A lot of these emotional decisions weigh heavy on us, right? It just naturally. That's just.
I think now, but when we was 18, now, when you 18, man. I mean, I'm not gonna say, you know, a lot of stuff didn't matter, but when you're 18, man, a lot of stuff don't matter.
I mean, yeah, I started it when I was 18, but just as
18, 19, 20, 21, like, that stuff.
We're still young and don't necessarily, not everybody got their emotions and maturity in check at that young age, right?
That's what I'm saying. So none of that stuff, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. The emotions not in check. So it's like, I don't think that we can say it don't necessarily matter because we make things at that young, we make things more than what it actually is, right? A lot of things mean more to us because of that's the point of time that we're in, you know, based off of what we seen, what we grew up learning, what we seen our parents doing, just what we want for ourselves. So a lot of times it's a lot harder because that's why it's heartbreak at the end of the day. You feel me? Because you open yourself up. You feel me? You got 5 years of time to open yourself up to that person to actually get like literally attached, right? Because in the same sense, that first real relationship, like I say, that 5 year, a lot of times, a lot of people say once you get to that point, that's your first love, or that's, you feel me, you think that's your soulmate, because we're not doing 5 year relationships at the age of 12. Like, that's not happening. So you get to your first point where you get in those long relationships, maybe like 16, 17, 18. So you feel like it's your first love, but it's truly like it could be your first attachment, right? So being that is attached, and we so young, we get attached to a lot of things, not even a relationship sense, but you get attached to a lot of things outside of that. And it's hard to let those attachments go. You feel me? So I can't sit here and say that it didn't hold value, because at that young age we get attached to a lot of things. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. But you like, yeah, you get attached to a lot of stuff, but you also changing constantly. So like I said, if I walk up to you right now, I'm like, man, how different are you as a person than you were at 18?
I was, but it's also who is.
I'm asking you, how different are you?
A lot different. I'm a lot different, right?
A lot. But so like you're a completely different person almost, right?
Yeah, but you got to think about it, right? So I mean, we first met when we was like 17, 18, right? And you're still here, my boy, to this day, right? You changed, I changed. But we changed, like I said, I ain't gonna say we changed together, but we changed as people, but still align. Our values and what we believe in, who we are, aligned with each other. So as I'm getting older in that relationship can change and grow.
I mean, that's because we grew.
We grew, right?
Though. A lot of people don't grow; they just change.
Exactly. A lot of people don't grow. A lot of people not gonna grow together, right? So I can't say that it don't have the value because I could be 18, right? And we can grow, like it could be a successful relationship because you do sometimes have those rare cases where some people do meet at 17, 18, end up getting married and being the sweethearts. In our generation now, that's very rare, but it does happen. So it's a chance that you can grow together from a young age. So that's why I say I can't say that it didn't have value because it's some cases that.
Well, what I should say is it shouldn't. It shouldn't
have value. Why shouldn't it have value?
Because, man, like I said, it's time wasted. All that time is just it's time wasted, bro. Like it really, like stuff you do at 18 really don't matter because you don't even know enough to make those type of decisions. You don't know enough about yourself to make those type of decisions. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't matter because like at that time, like, yeah, when you're going through it, it's like, dang, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Dang, heartbreak, hurt, cry, you know what I mean? But like when you 10 years from now, you're gonna look back at that and be like, man,
But
what
you
was
gotta
I
get to that 10 years from now.
what was I even
But see,
doing? You know what I mean? Like
10
at
years
that
from
time,
now.
I shouldn't have been.
But this is my thing, right? You said we did establish that it's trial and error. So shouldn't those things matter for your trial and error, bro? If it didn't matter, how are you gonna grow to get to that next level for that marriage or for the next person? So shouldn't the trial and error actually matter? Shouldn't those relationships and those feelings matter in order to get you prepared and ready for the next one or the next step or the serious one?
I mean, if you look at it like that, I guess it matters, but it only matters so you can do better. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like if you knew better, you do better type thing.
Right. So that's why I say I can't say it's not. I shouldn't have got. It shouldn't have mattered because it don't have value. Like everything got value, right? Because you got to value.
I mean, it's a learning lesson. It's a learning lesson.
But you have to value that lesson that you have to learn, correct?
Man, I don't value that.
You got to value that you got to learn, right?
Like you said, I got crazy. I got a crazy mind, man. Hell no.
I'm already knowing, but the Zay before Nadir, the Zay before even the start of the relationship, Nadir was a completely different person, right?
That's a different dude.
And
so anything before that, it's pointless. It's a waste of time.
But now you got
might as well not even talk about that.
But you got to that point now in life where it's like, bro, you can sit back thinking like, well, damn, I could have went a different route, or I shouldn't have did the things that I did do. So because we look at now, it's like at a mature standpoint is that's not the way you should go about things or do things. Like I could have threw my life away, or I could have messed my life up by doing some of the things that I did. Those are some of the conversations you have with yourself because it's like now we are mature. Now we can actually look back. You know what I mean? Because like even myself, for the good and the bad, pros and cons, right? Because
but I'm just happy. I'm just happy it went this way. That's all. Because I mean, it for sure could have went the other way for sure, but it didn't. So I'm just happy. I'm lucky. That's what I said. I'm just lucky. It ain't nothing that I did special. It ain't nothing that I did extra. You know, like I said, my life just turned. You know, all I can do is thank God for it.
That's all you can do. You know what I mean? But you know, I gotta get at you and get with you because that's just what we do for the most part. So, like I said, I just think for us around our age, just in general relationships, even if you in one or you're looking for one, if we can end this off, what game can you give people? Like I said, you're married. So not everybody gonna have your type of relationship or the process and the timeline to what you to your relationship that equals your relationship. So what can you give to the people to try to get them to get to that step or get to this point where you're actually married based off of what you did in the start of your relationship to before you actually started dating?
All right, so what we gonna do? We're not gonna base it off. We're gonna base it off what I know, not off me.
Right.
I'm just wondering. We're gonna base it off what I know.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, one is communication. Is communication number one. Number two, I mean, I guess it goes hand in hand with communication, but you need to you need to give a very detailed description of what you want and what you're looking for.
Right.
Very detailed. So if you want to be in the hills in California with 3 kids and a dog, you know, let that be known because this person might never want to leave the city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This person might want to live in New York City for the rest of their life, no kids, none of that. So you might want to be in the suburbs, you know, with the whole. So just let it be like very detailed. Another one is space. Like you sometimes you can't be too clingy, even though you would want to. Like I say, like nah, don't be too clingy. Another thing is like, well, I mean, well, this should be higher, but it's in no order. Trust for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely gotta trust that person. And the last one, I just say like, just like take advantage of all the time you got with somebody, because life is very short. So that's what I'm saying. Like certain things, you think you got a long time to do. Like, man, we young, we got a long time, man. Life short. So life real short. So just take advantage of the time you got somebody and don't put stuff off that could be done now.
Awesome. Yes, we nowhere near perfect. I ain't got it all figured out, but things to add to that, just for anybody that may need a little help that can't figure, or I ain't gonna say not figured out, but just seem like it's working out. I also say truly get to know that person that first date, because
Yeah.
you can save a lot of time, a lot of heartache, a lot of just knowing how to go about a situation if you truly get to know that person.
Yeah, I
Like,
say, man, you got that for man. That's the bit, man. That first date, you gotta apply pressure. See, a lot of people think that first date is like,
it's just we on a date, we just talking and going
you know
home.
what I'm saying?
Oh no,
Man,
that
you
first date, you
that's
ask
the
all them questions now.
that is the most detrimental part of any relationship. I'm not
Now
gonna lie to
you
you,
gotta ask all, like,
man.
so you gotta ask all those questions, right? Because you will know if you want to go on a second date based off of the conversation that you have with that person. Like, you ask them your pet peeves, you ask them what you, like you said, what your future plans is, what you want as far as a family, what a career goals. Ask, really try to get information. Like,
Anything you can think of.
what I did was ask things that I know I didn't necessarily do, right? So I asked her, like, what do you don't like? Like, what are these things that you don't like, right? Because if you're saying things that I do as a person, I'm not willing to change that, I'm not even wasting my time and work on a relationship with you, right? Because I'm not trying to change. I'm doing myself disservice, right? Because as I do those things, we gonna argue. And we arguing because I'm not trying to change. So you ask those questions based off of things that you may do and make it see like, okay, well, what is it that you don't like? And if you don't like that, and I'm gonna do that and I don't want to change that, bet. For me,
That's what. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like they want you to not even do something that you are not even willing to give up. So it's like, yeah, it's not gonna work.
it's not. Like I say, my thing is I don't smoke, right? And I don't
Yeah.
want my partner to smoke. So as a person, as people, we are allowed to have our preferences. Don't ever let nobody tell that you can't have a preference. So if you smoke, I'm probably not gonna be with you, but I'm not gonna give up
Yeah.
what I don't want because of what you look like, or maybe what you have to offer and what you have to bring to the table. If you smoke, I'm not gonna be with you. That's just me personally. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. That we're not going on a second date. You know what I
So
mean?
that's what I'm saying. You don't want to be with somebody 6 months and then you go to their house and they light what up. Oh, like,
Yeah. But you never said nothing about that from the beginning.
like what?
I
No,
was,
I don't even get down. And they like, oh no,
yeah.
I'm 5, 6 times a day with it. I ain't giving this. Oh yeah, no.
I would say that, like I say, in order to, I guess, like I said, what this is the formula I did to got that had me to get ready to actually want to be married within half the first year of my relationship. May not work for you, but the oldest things I did was that.
Damn, that's how they beat. I'm about to roll one right now.
It was that continually date, bro. Literally continually date. I'm going
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 dates a week. You feel me? 2 or 3 every 2 weeks. Continually date. You feel me? Like, those are things that you can get somebody in 6 months. You feel me? The same pressure you apply at the first date, you gotta apply that pressure for the rest of the duration of your relationship.
For sure. And
Change.
you definitely ain't always gotta spend money to go on a date, man. I just
You
go
don't.
for like a little
I
walk in
didn't
the
know that.
park.
I didn't know that in my 5-year relationship. I didn't.
That's what I'm saying, man. You go for a
I
walk in
didn't.
the park.
I
It's a little
didn't.
nice walk in the park. Go
I,
look at the
I,
lake or something.
I think that's
Feed some birds, feed some ducks, man. Just go. Cause all about because I mean the whole purpose of the day is just like for you, y'all two get together and learn about each other. That's it.
yeah. So you definitely learn your partner, then completely learn yourself. I think the biggest reason why relationships don't work, and I wholeheartedly 100% believe it. The reason the relationships don't work is because of you. That's why I don't work. I don't put the blame on nobody else. I think it's you are the reason why I don't work. So you completely find yourself and be
You gotta
willing
do
to
that.
act.
You gotta do that before you even think about even going on a date with somebody.
Mhm. You got to completely find yourself, because if you don't find yourself and you're not willing to work on yourself or even change for the better, you can change for the relationship. Because sometimes a lot of things, a lot of people don't want to change for a relationship. They don't want to get in a relationship. Oh, I gotta change. I gotta change that. Sometimes you just might have to, bro. You just might to. So really, just be able to be willing to actually do something for the betterment of the relationship for somebody else. You're not always thinking about yourself. A relationship is not about yourself. You feel me? It's about us, we. So if I gotta change something to change my habits for we, do it. So those are like 3 easy little tricks and hacks for me. It's a lot more, that you can do, but I ain't got the time to give all that right about now. So
I think
um
they got it.
they definitely got it. So that's definitely the topic. I mean, it's
Willie's
more so
declassified relationship survival
uh,
guide.
it's a watered down version from what he told me, but that's
Willie's declassified
you trying to change.
relationship survival guide.
You trying to change. That's what you want the name of the episode to be.
Oh no, just something funny. I don't know.
Oh, funny. He trying to change the name of the podcast. It's all good though. It's all good though. But nah, for real though. We all young, and if I can leave y'all with anything, have fun. Do you? Don't let nobody change you. Don't let nobody sway you to do anything you don't want to do, and don't let no relationship put you in a dark hole, in a dark space. Don't let nobody in a relationship do that to you. You feel me? Your mental sanity, your mental health, and your peace is all you need. You got to protect that. So, in a relationship, if you got signs of that, they messing with your mental health, slide. You feel me? Slide. Like I don't care what the time is, how long y'all did, what y'all did together. Slide, because that person manipulating you. So if I can leave anything with protect
Time don't
yourself,
mean nothing.
it don't. And I learned that. I learned that time don't mean anything, because just like this tweet said, she was with him for 5 years and he dated her for 6 months. Time don't matter. That experience, what that person brings to the table for you, is what matter. So
And honestly, man, time actually work against people because man, that's the richest person in the world. That they still trying to figure it out to this day. How can I buy time? You can't buy it.
if my time is dead. So definitely always think about you first. Make decisions for yourself first. And then when you're ready to get in that relationship, then you make those decisions for y'all. You feel me? So that's all I got. You ain't got nothing else to add.
That's it, bro.
Like I say, so this is like I say, my boy Zay. Again, I'm your host, Willie Love. This has been another episode of Tell Me What's Good. Until next time, gang.